Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build guide for the Divine Soul Sorcerer mod in Baldur's Gate 3. This is a standalone class version that just released on the console mod manager. This is made by Nox TRX1. This is a cool class because it gets a lot of the benefits that the sorcerer gets, and it also gets a lot of the cool effects of a cleric. Now there is another mod that actually is just a subclass for the sorcerer, which I like a little bit more here because it adds basically the same spells but also includes mistress spells. I'm hoping this one will come to console soon, but it's more overpowered. Now we'll go obviously with the standalone version, as that's what this one's going to be about. So for the cantrip selection, I think it's best to go with Ray of Frost here, Shocking Grasp. Firebolt's also a pretty useful spell at times for igniting things, and so is Bone Chill. But even Minor Illusion and Mage Hand can have their uses. Minor Illusion can group enemies together, and Mage Hand can throw water bottles or healing potions for you. We also got the choice of spells here, so there's a few good selections here. I think that Shield and Magic Missile are the best two early game options. Thunderwave is also nice for pushing enemies off of cliffs. Healing Word can be useful, but also Create or Destroy Water is going to be a huge component of this, and you'll see why, because it's actually quite powerful. Now we also get some class passives here, so you could take like a Cure Wounds spell, which I don't love using because it does use up a spell slot and it's not a huge heal. Evil gives you Inflict Wounds, which is a pretty good spell for damage early in the game. Log gives us Bless, which is a really great concentration early on, so this could be the best choice that you can go with. Chaos gives you Bane, and Neutrality gives you the protection from good and evil, but we're going to go with our Bless here. Now you get to choose a deity if you have the deity choice mod on, so we're going to go with that there. We're going to go with 16 Charisma, and then I would recommend also having around 16 Dexterity for a high initiative and armor class, 14 Constitution, 10 Intelligence, 10 Wisdom. So something like that works well. Persuasion should be a skill proficiency you always have. I'm also using the Divine Guardian armor here, dyed yellow and white. So this is a mod that is now on console as well, so it was pretty cool. But I'll go over in the gear section of this. So at level 2, we get the ability to choose another spell slot, and Create Water is going to be our best choice here. Command is also a really nice spell that we could go with, so it's your choice between the two of those, but we want to have Shield, and Magic Missile is just extremely useful for guaranteed damage. So Command or Create Water, your choice. Meta Magics, I think it's best to go with Twin Spell. If you have the mod for Empowered Spell, this can be a really fun one too, because you can reroll your damage with advantage. And Distance Spells, the Twin and Distance Spell being the best choices here for extending your spell casting range, which are great for Magic Missiles, as well as being able to Twin Haste. At level 3, we get ourselves a choice of level 2 spell slots, so we got awesome choices like Scorching Ray, Spiritual Weapon, Hold Person, Mirror Image for +9 armor class. Misty Step can be good for getting away from targets, so lots of good choices here. You can even go back and take Command, but I think Hold Person is the most beneficial. Spiritual Weapon's nice, but we actually have a use for our bonus action, unlike the Cleric. We want to be using our bonus action for Quicken spells, whereas the Cleric doesn't really have much of an action use for that. So we'll take Hold Person here, and then we're going to take Quicken spells, so that's our bonus action use. You can also replace your spells at any time if you want to take a higher leveled spell. Now at level 4, we get another choice in cantrip. So you can take Sacred Flame for some radiant damage, especially getting into Act 2 soon. This will work well, because at level 4, you're going to be in Act 2, which the shades will be weak to radiant damage. Now for our next leveled spell, Scorching Ray can be a good choice. You can also go back and take Command. So it's your choice between Scorching Ray or Command. I think Command actually has a lot of usefulness here, because if you have a concentration, you can use that for further crowd control and basically solo the game. Now at level 4, I think it's best to increase our Charisma for a spellcasting modifier. It's just the best choice here. At level 5, we get another spell, and we get great choices like Spirit Guardians, which is a very impactful spell. However, this does use concentration, so I think the best choice here is to go with Lightning Bolt and Haste. Reason why: Lightning Bolt will be doubled with Create Water, so you can hit this for upwards at 96 damage, which is incredible. Fireball is nice too. Haste is going to be a very beneficial spell. Spirit Guardians and Haste are competing for your concentration though. You're going to get more out of Haste with the +2 to armor class and an extra action and doubling your movement speed versus just dealing radiant damage. But Spirit Guardians can be a good choice too, so your choice there. At level 6, we get the Empowered Healing, so whenever you or a nearby ally casts a spell that restores hit points, spend 1 sorcery point to grant them the maximum amount of healing from all sources for 1 turn. So with this, you can heal them and then start throwing a bunch of potions at them, which will heal them for a bit more healing. And then with this, we also get a choice of another spell. So haste is the best choice here, I would say. The other mod that I have for this Divine Soul Sorcerer actually adds multiple spells. So you get to choose 2 cleric spells every 2 levels. So you get a lot of choice. Now level 4, there's some fun ones. Spirit Guardian of Faith here is actually pretty useful. It can basically be a little bit of a tank that doesn't require concentration for directing enemy attacks. Confusion's nice, but this does have a requirement of concentration. It doesn't show it there, but it should have that. I do have a bunch of mods I need to reinstall. Counterspell is also nice to take from earlier levels because level 4 is actually pretty weak in terms of spells. Ice Storm can be a good one for crowd control. Healing Word if you want to go with a healing source. That can also set up healing for your entire team, so that could be pretty good. Especially if you want to go more of a healing route. So you can take that, or you can go back and take earlier spells like Scorching Ray, or even Fireball. Even Glyph of Warding can be pretty useful for setting down traps near the enemy with no concentration required. So yeah, there's a lot of choice here. Ice Storm, even Confusion, Wall of Fire, Glyph of Warding, Fireball. I think we'll just take Fireball because I know a lot of people really enjoy that spell, and anytime I don't take it, people are always in the comments saying I should have taken it. So yeah, we'll take that, but also Glyph of Warding. Mass Healing Word can be pretty useful. I guess we'll take Mass Healing Word there just to be able to set up our healing on the team. And then we'll take our Charisma up to 20 because that's just the best choice. Although Alert is another really useful spell. Next level, we get to choose another spell here. Cone of Cold is the one that I think works best because we have Create Water, so we can hit Create Water and then hit them for upwards of 128 damage with Cone of Cold. So this also will create an icy surface on the ground. What's huge about that is you can create ice surface, mess up the enemy, and they can't really do nothing about it. Cone of Cold will just completely lock them in place. It'll upset enemies' spellcasting concentrations as well. Melee classes have to run to get to you, so they'll slip and fall too. We got another choice of cantrip. At this point, level 10, Bone Chill is the best choice because there's some encounters in Act 3 that help a lot with that. I'm also a big fan of Insect Plague, giving disadvantage on perception checks, but difficult terrain and piercing damage. So this will slow enemies down even more so if you have ice surfaces on the ground, so it'll slip and fall in the Insect Plague. These two, so Create Water, Cone of Cold, and then Insect Plague can be really nice. However, this does use concentration. Hold Monster is another really useful spell that can end some fights really early. Flame Strike's okay, but 5d6 of fire and radiant damage is kind of weird split. So Hold Monster or Insect Plague there is our best choice. And you're going to want to take something like maybe Subtle Spell or even Extended Spell, Careful Spell, your choice. If you got the mod for Empowered Spell, that's probably the best choice for rolling higher damage. So we'll take that just for purposes of increased damage. At level 11, you get to fly. So this is basically the Divine Sorcerer's extra benefit. Similar to the Draconic Sorcerer, getting fly for free is really nice. And you use movement speed instead of costing a bonus action like the Storm Sorcerer. So a very beneficial spell indeed. Now we also get level 6 spells. Chain Lightning is our best friend because this can be set up with Create Water. Also, Globe of Invulnerability is pretty useful. Hero's Feast and Heal can be okay. I also think Planar Ally is probably the best spell here. So we'll take Chain Lightning because we have Create Water set up. For our next level, we're taking Planar Ally. And then we're going to take Alert for our feat. Although you could go with something like the Actor feat if you want to go 17. There's a few different choices you can go with for feats. But what this is going to look like is we're going to want to have Viconia's Walking Fortress. And then with any type of armor, I would recommend grabbing, you could go with Wave Mother's Robe actually, because this will give us a free Create Water. So if you don't have armor, that could be a good one. Also, the Robe of the Weave will give you increased spell casting, so that's really nice. But the Helldusk armor is probably the best in slot for survivability, give us a 27 armor class. So you're a lot more tanky with this, so that's probably the best choice if you're in Act 3. Early in the game, go with whatever clothing. Potent Robe is being a good choice if you're going with a good aligned playthrough. Hood of the Weave gives +2 spell save DC and spell attack rolls. Probably the best helmet in the slot. Cloak of Protection for +1 armor class, same as the boots and the Ring of Protection. We also got the Amulet of Greater Health, setting our Constitution score to 23, giving us 122 health. Ring of Regeneration will heal us. And then we also got Viconia's Walking Fortress and Marka Heshker. Now, this is a little trick that I want to teach you guys. Switch staffs, take out the Arcane Battery, take out your Planar Ally. Now, the Genie is a great choice, but the Diva or Genie are the best choices. Cambion's good too, but the thing with the Genie, it's got Thunderwave to push enemies off cliffs, and it can teleport, which is a crazy combination. The Diva just does a bunch more damage, but it also deals radiant damage, so that's kind of doubling up on your damage choices. The Genie though, 166 health. That's pretty good. Now once you cast it in, you can switch back, take your normal staff back, and you get to keep this, and you got all your spells plus the free arcane battery. Now I'll show off what this looks like in combat. Now prior to combat, we want to use Kareska's favors from the Marka Heshker staff. The two best ones are the Bolts of Doom, which will give you lightning charges, and it gives you a free chain lightning. The Frost of the Dark Winter will also give you additional cold damage, and also the ability to cast Cone of Cold and Ice Storm, which is really nice. And on top of that, we also get to inflict 1 turn of frost whenever we deal cold damage, so pretty useful. Now we got everything all set up here. So another thing, if you know you're getting into a combat encounter, you can cast haste on yourself, and you can also go with a twin casting of haste, so you can haste yourself and your genie, which is kind of funny, but also haste your teammate if you're going to be doing that. A fighter, typically if you're outside of honor mode, will be a good choice. With alert, we rolled a 14 for initiative, so we're guaranteed to move first, and this is where the carnage begins. So I would recommend trying to set up so you got 2 spells that you can cast, Create Water being a really useful one. But we can also just go with some minor damage choices for early on. So something like a magic missile is kind of nice because you can just use your level 1 spell slots if you don't want to use up your other spell slots, so we can just blast them with a magic missile. It doesn't do major damage, but that's not really the point. And then you can also hit with like a cantrip if you want. We're not going to waste our... We're going to wait till we can group enemies together. I took them out. So that's unfortunate. But you can also go with your like healing spells if you want to. So I'll get my genie in closer, and then we'll go with the healing. Because with the healing, you can also set up extra healing. So you can see the empowered healing. So whenever a nearby ally casts a spell that restores health points, spend sorcery points to be able to grant them the max amount of healing. I'm not going to react, but that is a nice effect there. Just want to showcase that. So we'll just end our turn there. And then we'll move the genie over here. The genie can shifting winds teleport and then use Thunderwave. It works really well on a sorcerer, especially if we can set up frozen. That's where things get really crazy, because we can create water, freeze a target, and it'll take double damage from thunder and also push it around. So it'll fail its strength saving throw, so you can use that to be able to hit the targets. It's actually really useful. So there's a few ways we can get pretty cheesy with this build, but they set themselves up into a perfect situation. So we still got our 2 actions here, so we can go with a create water and find the level that lets you hit everyone that you want to hit with your create water. This is level 2 for us. You can see we got all 3 of them in the create water. Boom. And now we got our Cone of Cold, which you could cheese to set up and hit both of them. But what this is going to do is we're going to take out probably both of these here. In addition to this, that's going to become difficult terrain for her. So we took out one of them. That's fine. And then they also still have the wet status on them, so double win. We could also, if we wanted to, use like one of these concentrations here. Black hole is pretty nice because this can group enemies together and possibly slow them. I also like going with a spell for, so we moved her and slowed him. That's fine. I also like to use Mind Blast. That's extremely useful, so we'll just end our turn there. But with the genie, you can find some pretty fun ways to blast them around. So we'll go here with this. Hopefully this knocks them. See you later. And then we can go up here. And yeah, genie with haste is actually kind of scary. We'll try to move him to a good position. And see you later, hopefully. Yep, goodbye. So that's the best benefit of the genie. It's also immune to prone, so you don't have to worry about any of your ice impacting it. We didn't end up using any of our major leveled spells, so I'll go show this off against the guards. But that, in a general nutshell, is what we want to be doing for combat. The genie's haste, alongside your haste, is extremely powerful. So I guess we'll go in here. We still have 3 turns of haste left. That's fine. And we'll go into boom. And this is the trick, guys. So we'll go with a create or destroy water and set up with like a pretty high level create water, which can set up multiple enemies here. So unfortunately that applied it to ourselves too. And then what we'll do is we'll drop a chain lightning. So pick the one closest to most enemies. Boom. And it unfortunately didn't spread to anyone else. It just hit one target. That's unfortunate because it didn't have anyone else listed as an enemy. So don't start combat with that. And unfortunately we were able to take them out. We still got ourselves 2 actions though, so to follow up with that, we got ourselves Ice Storm, which will deal double damage to the hasted enemies and create an ice surface. And that took out pretty much everyone in our path. The Sorcerer is very overpowered if you abuse like a twin haste situation. If we had the ability to go with a Misty Step, we could further mess things up. But we got ourselves Command Grovel here, which we could... this is risky. I don't want to slip and break my concentration, but I also don't have the distance. So I guess we'll go with a distance spell. Command Grovel, level 3. And then boop, boop, boop. Knock them prone, hopefully. And Command Grovel worked. Alright, we took that amount of combat. I think I missed one of them that might be behind. Yeah, there was some of them behind me. So even furthermore, what we can do is we can run over here. And if you got Mind Blast, you can use that because Mind Blast will likely take out most of them. Because if you get the Resonance Stone, it doubles the damage and stuns them. So 2 of them are stunned now. Wow, we're over. The Sorcerer is such an overpowered class. So we'll end our turn. Don't know where the genie is. He's over here. Okay, that's fine. We'll end our turn. Yeah, this is a very powerful class. So they lose their turn. Command Grovel. Block because we have a really high armor class with the Helldesk armor. That's why I wanted to select that. And they just lose their turn, trying to make themselves stand up. We get our turn back, and the genie doesn't get to go. But another thing you can do again is the distance spell. You can also go to hold person. That's a pretty devastating spell. But we're just going to continue to grovel them. So now we know. Oh. We have distance spell on. I forgot I moved, so I guess I'll move back up to here and go with the distance spell again and drop Command Grovel and see you later. 55% chance. That's our lowest chance. And I guess we could probably, yeah, we'll do it on them. So boom, Command Groveled. Yeah, they're groveled again. And I guess we also have another spell slot, so we got a free cast here, which could be pretty fun. And what we can do is, I guess we'll go over here and upcast a lightning bolt to level 6 and hopefully take out these 2. That took out both of them. Perfect. All right. Didn't even have to care about the command. That's fine. And yeah, this is how the Sorcerer mixed with a cleric can be overpowered, because with haste and command, you can shut down everyone. And then we can use this fella right here to go and hopefully teleport. It's not going to be enough, but we can drop that down on them. So yeah, I guess we'll drop that down, restrain them, because there's one. Yep, perfect. And I guess I still got the haste, so we have 1 turn left with haste. This is getting kind of scary. Uh-oh. And I don't think I can attack. Not enough movement. That sucks. We could have dashed, I guess, but we'll just end our turn there. This could be bad because haste is ending, but we restrain them. Yeah, we're lethargic. That's fine. I guess we can't win them all. We'll end our turn there. They got, one of them got restrained, which is perfect, and they're just going to come and attack us. But we got a really high armor class, so we don't got to worry about getting hit too often. We're just going to block all of these hits. And then we got our genie here to finish things off, so that's perfect. And we can go with a... I guess we'll try and knock as many off as we can. So I guess this will hopefully do it. We can maybe knock some off the edge. They're in the way. This is going to be unfortunate, but we might be able to knock. The restraint kind of sucks, but we'll just try that and hit them. Took them out. Oops. Yeah, that's fine. We'll end our turn there. He got saved by the whirlwind. He'll probably... Oh, didn't even attack. That's fine. Crusader's Mantle. The genie's a nice tank too, because he's got 166 health and he's got a lower armor class than your character, so he'll likely get hit with a lot of spells. We got some extra enemies here to fight, so that's not fun. But what we can do is we can set up and hopefully hit multiple of them. We'll try to get a little closer. And we got them all now with this spell, so hopefully this can take out a few of them. Boom. Yeah, it did. And it created ice surfaces again, so we're back in business. And we can quicken a spell too if we need to. So that is the beauty of the Sorcerer, is that even if you've used up your spells, you still got the option to continue blasting. So we don't even have to... We could go with a quickened... I guess we'll go with a quickened magic missile and upcast it to level 3, and hopefully that's enough to take them out. But yeah, you got options when it comes to being a sorcerer. That's the beautiful thing about it. Hopefully they move and then slip. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted. And then we got this to hopefully knock some people around or just deal a bunch of damage. Perfect. And then we can even use the genie to misty step his way away, because what happens here is they have to move to hit us, and they'll get potentially knocked prone. So yeah, you're gonna see here, oh, they're just gonna heal themselves because they're in for a rough one, and that knocked them prone. Perfect. All right, we go in with our distance spell and drop, I guess probably the best choice would be fireball. I guess that's really what we got left, and that could hit all of them, hopefully take them out. There it is. That's how you can solo a bunch of people as Divine Soul Sorcerer. This class is extremely powerful, so to showcase this with your genie friend, you can do anything. Thank you so much for watching. Create Water and Command are two very powerful spells for these Sorcerer, and they come from the Cleric. So yeah, if you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.